Good morning everyone. This is the class of Metro System and Engineering code COE 701A. This is the very first class, that's why I am just giving you the introductory idea of this subject. First of all, regarding the syllabus and course plan of this subject is like this. Let me show you the syllabus prescribed by your university, that is Metro System and Engineering, course code COE 701A. 2 lecture class is scheduled as per syllabus. There are total 5 modules of this subject. First one is the introductory part of Metro System and Engineering, where the need of the metro system specifically will be going to discuss. Second module is the very much important module for your purpose, for civil engineering purpose, because you can see that the name of the second module, the title is civil engineering part. So these the civil engineering work, those are related and those are required for the metro system and engineering. Here all the construction planning and management and the economy of the construction and the projects related to the metro system and engineering will be discussed. Rest part, that is the module 3, 4 and 5. These modules are related to the other engineering parts which are related to the metro system and engineering. Module 3 is related to those parts which are required from electronics and communication engineering. Fourth module is for mechanical engineering, where the rolling stock, the rail, the structure of the bogies of the metros will be discussed. And last part is related to the electrical engineering. That means the electrical engineering parts, those are required for the metro system and engineering. So this is the total syllabus of metro system and engineering. Next, let me show you the course plan of this subject. So this is the course plan of metro system and engineering that I have prepared for your semester purpose, and this is the total plan of the course. Similarly, this pattern will go through this semester by this planning. That means first introduction part, then civil engineering part, then electronics part, then mechanical, and at the last electrical part will thoroughly discuss about the topics those are given in the syllabus. And this part is very important for your comprehension purpose. This course outcomes, let me zoom this part. Here you can see there are 6 course outcomes of this for this subject. First one is the overview of the metro system. That means what is course outcomes, I think all of you know, because from the previous I think from the 3 or 4 years we have already discussed what is course outcomes. Course outcome is nothing but the objective of studying this subject, metro system and engineering. That means after completion of this course, metro system and engineering, what are the main points, salient points which you have able to do after completing this subject. So first course outcomes is you can get a vivid knowledge about the metro system and engineering. Second outcomes is that you can be able to design the method of construction, management and planning is also related to the construction of civil engineering structural parts which are required in the metro system. Third outcomes is the you can able to develop the method of planning and survey and management system for the civil engineering construction purpose which are required for the construction in the metro system. Fourth part is related to the electronics and communication system. You can be able to explain those electronics and communication parts which are required for the metro system. Fifth outcomes is you can be able to identify about the different parts of the mechanical structure which are involved in the metro system, and last outcomes which is that you can be able to implement your knowledge about the electrical engineering part in the which are actually required for the metro system and engineering. So these are the outcomes, these are the objectives, or I can say that these are the final outcomes after completing this course. So let's start the lesson. So today is the very first class, that's why I am giving a bit overview and introductory knowledge about the metro system. So I think all of you know what is metro. Metro, I think many of you have traveled using metro rails in Kolkata or any other cities in India. So the thing is that the about metro rail or the transportation related to the metro system, you know. That means that thing in a, many of you have that idea that metro rail is that kind of railway transportation system which is traveling underground, but somehow in the recent ages you can see many of the parts of the metros in different cities, those parts are above the ground, and like flyover, the metro rails are put off and rails are moving through that. So the thing is that the underground thing is not the mandatory thing or not the very much essential thing for the metro system. So what is the need of metro rails or metro system? That is one of the major part. So what is the need of metro system? That is, as you can see that on the roadway system or roadway transportation, you can see the jam, the traffic, the huge traffic which is traveling through the roadway due to the requirement or due to the necessity of reducing the jam and traffic on the roadway, we have to go for the metro system. So there are different necessity of making this metro system or metro rail or railway transportation. This there are different needs. So those needs, let me show you. Yes. So these are the advantages of metro transportation system, and these the point number 4. Okay, let me show you this. The point number 4, lesser road space, and point number 5, more traffic may be carried through it. These 2 points are the most important points which actually fulfill the requirements of the metro rail system. That is lesser road space, which is described as occupies no road space if underground metro is constructed, and in case of elevated railway, that means when you can see after maybe Robindra Sarovar metro in Kolkata. After Robindra Sarovar, the rest of part of the metro railway is elevated kind of. That means above the ground. Okay, so the elevated railway system, if we are opting for elevated railway system, or if we are opting for underground metro system, in both the cases lesser amount of road space is occupied, because in case of underground metro system obviously there is no road space required, but in case of elevated metro system a minimum amount of road space is required to construct the total metro system. Only to construct the piers, that means the large column type things, those piers, that is a kind of foundation, piers and the abutments, those required only a minimum amount of road space. That means occupancy of lesser amount of road space, and with lesser amount of road space, with occupying lesser amount of road space, more traffic may be carried. That means carries as much traffic as 5 lanes of bus traffic, that is roadway, 5 times of 5 lanes bus traffic or 12 lanes private motor cars. This much amount of traffic may be carried by a metro rail. So these 2 points are the necessity or advantage of metro railway system. That's why in the advanced or modern transportation system, metro railway system or metro railway transportation is very much required, very much required thing. And obviously you know that this is one of the main characteristics of a metro city. So this is the thing. Now coming to the classification of rail-based metro transportation system according to the capacity of the metro rail. So there are 3 kinds of metro transportation system, that is light capacity metro system, medium capacity metro system and high capacity metro system. Let me show you. So you can see that I have prepared a notes which are very much advantageous for your semester purpose, and you can see this metro system and engineering, some of the parts are very much important for your placement and recruitment purposes also. That's why I have just prepared one thing, which is one document which is required for your semester purpose, and I have prepared one PPT. I'll show you that later, which will be very much important for your placement purpose. So these 2 things I will discuss parallelly in this class. Okay. For metro system, I think you know that if you go through the class schedule, there are 3 classes, 3 1-hour classes in a week. So in these 3 classes, I will discuss this thing in one class, Another thing is that PPT I have prepared for you for your recruitment purpose or placement purpose in the another class, and the third class will be occupied for your regular practice and preparedness for your placement purpose. I think all of you have received one mail from department regarding this case. So this is the thing I should tell you that thing also, inform that thing also, that in this class, in the regular classes, in between the regular classes, in all the subjects, not only for this metro systematic engineering, in all the classes, will be going to discuss the things which are already, the subjects which are already discussed in the previous semesters for the preparedness of your placement and recruitment purposes. So please be attentive, please be regular in the classes, don't miss the class. So coming to the lesson, that is the classification of metro transportation system. There are three kinds of metro system according to the capacity. Light capacity metro system is the capacity of up to 30,000 PHPDT. What is PHPDT? That is the per hour per day traffic. This is okay. You can this PHPDT is the per hour per day traffic. In the medium capacity metro system, the capacity is 30,000 to 50,000 PHPDT, and in high capacity metro system, the capacity is 50,000 to 80,000 PHPDT. So this is the basic classification of metro system according to the capacity of the metro system.